Okay, you see that video that was on the first one?
When you got a corset on, my waist was about 20 inches.
The Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sailing the high seas and getting into swashbuckling pirate fights may seem like a good time, but transforming yourself into the look of a pirate can be less than desirable. To convincingly create scenes that take place in the 1700s, it was vital
I'm gonna
that
shut
all
up,
the
okay?
actors who appeared on screen looked the part. The application of makeup and prosthetics on an actor can be a long and grueling process. The complex makeup and costumes worn by actors can cause extreme discomfort, pain, and in some cases, physical injuries. Which actors experience the most pain and discomfort due to their makeup and costumes? Skarsgård's bootstrap Bill Turner had the unique distinction of being the only member of Davy Jones' crew who wasn't computer generated. However, that may not be as cool as it sounds. Skarsgård had to undergo a grueling makeup process, spending 4 hours in the chair to achieve his rotting ship look, and was dubbed Bouillabaisse on set because of the appearance. He said that they couldn't shoot for more than 3 days straight because he would get rashes from the makeup. And when he was done filming for the day, it took an additional hour and a half to remove the heavy makeup and prosthetics, which wasn't too gentle on the skin. We applaud Skarsgård for his commitment to the role, and even though it sounds painful, the makeup looks great. Captain Salazar and his crew are some of the coolest looking beings in the Pirates franchise. And while CGI had a big part in making that look possible, practical effects were also a major part in creating the effect. The makeup team went with a cracked earth look for all the skin on the cursed pirates, using prosthetics and paints. Javier Bardem spent 3.5 hours every day in a chair getting his makeup and prosthetics done, which became a very repetitive and tedious process. Bardem also had dots and some blue screen on his face to help the animators in post. The end result is a truly awesome effect, and all the time that went into making it was well worth it.
Well, it took me a little while to adjust to the time frame.
Hector Barbosa is one of the most memorable pirates from the franchise, and his awesome look is a big part of that. It took about an hour and a half for Jeffrey Rush to get into his full pirate makeup. This included wearing fake, rotten teeth and wearing contact lenses to make his eyes look more dead and yellowish. Having fake teeth and contact lenses in all the time wasn't a comfortable situation. Even though this caused Rush some discomfort, the end result is a grimy, sword-wielding captain that is probably the image a lot of people conjure when thinking of a pirate.
Get back on your golden cockroaches!
It's been 18 years since The Curse of the Black Pearl was released, so we'll forgive you if you forgot this character. Jacoby was one of Barbosa's undead crew members, who had a very specific physical attribute. His beard was on fire, and this wasn't a camera trick or CGI. The makeup and effects department made a fake beard with wiring in the dreads that were used to light incense, which actor Vince Lozano actually wore while it was lit. They had to relight his beard between takes, and it's just as dangerous as it sounds. Lozano was burned several times, the beard would occasionally catch on fire, and it would also burn other people when his beard would flip into them.
You kind of always smell burning hair around this guy.
Perhaps next time they should use CGI instead.
No fair.
Ragetti is one of the most fun and lovable characters in the series, with his signature look and fake eye. Mackenzie Crook, the actor behind Ragetti, didn't actually have a fake eye. Instead, he wore multiple different types of contact lenses while filming. Soft lenses were used to give his eyes a certain grimy look, and hard lenses were used to represent the fake eye, as the lenses physically bulged out Crook's eye. These hard lenses can be very uncomfortable, but Ragetti didn't let that stop him from putting on a memorable performance.
Hi.
Before Elizabeth Swann became the badass fighter on the seas, she was the pristine girl who dressed in perfect clothing. This included a corset in the first movie, which wasn't very comfortable. Knightley said that being in a corset is positively awful, and that it makes it difficult to breathe.
I can't breathe.
Ironically, that is the plot point used when she is in the corset in the movie. Luckily for Knightley, the later movies saw her wearing more loose-fitting clothing to adjust for the extra movement and fighting she was doing. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies are extremely large in scale, and this includes a very big cast of extras. Anytime you see a pirate on screen, a ton of time and effort went into creating the look. Pirate clothes arrived new, so the crew had to weather and age them by putting them into a cement mixer with bricks. They also dirtied the clothes, which meant actors were spending hours in the hot sun with dirty clothes on. They had upwards of 50 makeup artists at a time, getting the actors ready and keeping them looking the right way throughout the entire shoot. Not the most pleasant or comfortable experience, but it definitely sells them as real pirates. Even though the main focus is on the pirates, don't forget the townsfolk that appear in these films. Like the pirate crews, there were a ton of townsfolk extras, which required a lot of clothing. Costume designer Penny Rose said for the first film, they ordered 900 pieces of costuming for the extras. And these clothes weren't the most comfortable to wear. Some of the women had to wear tight corsets, just like Keira Knightley did, and some of the men had to wear tight neckerchiefs. The fittings were done on the fly, as actors were constantly swapping clothes to get the proper fit. This made things chaotic and difficult, as there were so many extras that it was nearly impossible to keep track of it all. Rose said the entire process was a madhouse, especially since most of it took place outside in the hot sun. But she definitely achieved the right look in the end. Johnny Depp's portrayal of Captain Jack Sparrow is iconic, and so is his look. To create the signature look we know and love, Depp had to go through a very specific makeup and costuming process to make sure his look remained consistent across all films. This included a wig with dreadlocks, his real beard, braided with beads weaved in, his coat, pants, boots, and of course the iconic hat. What you may not know is that they actually had multiple pairs of boots for Depp. Because Depp was getting wet so often, his boots would fill with water, making it difficult and uncomfortable to walk. The solution was to create boots that could drain the water more efficiently, and the crew was regularly switching out his boots between takes. Depp also had to wear special contact lenses during shooting. The sunny days were so bright and painful that he needed something to protect his eyes.
I had contact lenses made for him that were actually sunglasses.
You're not
Naomi
going
Harris
out.
transformed her look to play Tia Dalma in Dead Man's Chest and At World's End. She wore a wig, black lipstick, black eyeshadow, tribal markings, and gold and dirt on her face, along with prosthetic teeth that would clip in and out. She also filled her mouth with vegetable dye before each take, which meant she had to say her lines with the dye dripping out of her mouth. It wasn't the most comfortable experience, but it looked cool and we appreciate everything she did for the character.
I'm sorry, different versions and all our children.
To capture the amazing performance of Bill Nye and transform him into Davy Jones, the crew had Nye in a motion capture suit for all of his scenes. He can be seen with white dots painted on his face, along with some dark makeup around his mouth and eyes.
So all I had was little white dots on my face. I had to wear sad grey pajamas with dots all over it.
As Nye pointed out, this isn't a flattering costume, and he felt left out compared to his co-stars. Sounds like his ego may have been bruised a bit, but even if he didn't look that cool on set, he definitely looks like one of the coolest characters in the finished movie. Speaking of being jealous of their co-star's wardrobe,
What?
Jack Davenport wasn't too fond of Warrington's costume. He had to wear a proper powdered white wig, which he said,
I look like an ice cream, and these guys just look so cool.
when he learned he was going to be in a pirate movie, he thought he was going to have the chance to dress up and look cool. But instead, he had to dress up like an idiot. And he was not happy about it. Sorry, Davenport. You win some, you lose some.
It was without doubt the worst part I've ever seen.
Although getting into character for these movies sounds like it was a hassle, it was definitely worth it for how it looked on screen. We applaud these actors and actresses for going through these uncomfortable processes to provide us with the characters we know and love. Let us know if you would like to see another Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Wow. Goodbye, everybody.